Good morning and good evening, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Seth, and we are Press Start.
We've played Spider-Man 2 for over 100 hours, and this is our 4-minute guide to help you take your gameplay from good to great.
Let's talk about EXP and leveling. EXP is primarily earned through side quests, Mysterio, the instant grabs with spider bots and doing photography. But again, if you do want the game to actually be more harder in general, doing less side quests makes it more difficult. Doing a lot more side quests makes it a lot easier. From that point of view too, if you are struggling with certain side quests, especially Mysterio's, maxing out your gadgets really does help as well.
Fighting in the air is very important in this game. Using Air Marshal as well as Floor is Lava will help you deal with most enemies in the air and even helps with a lot of the boss fights that you'll encounter. And if you're struggling with the more intense group fights earlier on in the game, one of the best abilities to get is Web Throw. This allows you to web up items and enemies, swing them around, and then throw them. And you'll notice that while you're swinging them, the other enemies will pause their actions until you throw, which gives you a little extra time to plan your next move.
Some bosses on higher difficulties can have combo strings that end in either a blue or a yellow attack. These can actually be very difficult sometimes to react to, just because they come out so fast. And you need to dodge them before sometimes the tail appears. There is an actual nice way of getting out of this, and that's actually by jumping. So jumping will actually move you out of the way of both yellow and blue attacks. The other good part is if you actually do a dodge mid-air while you're jumping, it actually gets you a little bit of extra hang time to have a few thoughts about what to do next.
Hero tokens are an important part of the game. Don't waste them on costumes. Spend them instead on gadgets and suit tech. You can earn your costumes later on. In suit tech, the focus tree should be your first and main investment. The entire tree is amazing. Your focus are those innocent bars below your health bar, and it's basically your only method to be able to heal, unless you go with takedowns, which you can balance against healing. But I highly recommend you take healing for the most part. If you need to fill this bar very quickly, then shooting your webs out during combat is one of the best ways to do it, even if the enemies are resistant to webs. It's incredibly easy, also incredibly important. There's also a setting that allows you to auto-heal at certain percentages, so if you are struggling with healing and you're dying a lot, this may be a helpful setting to experiment with.
The parry mechanic in this game is absolutely overpowered. It really is a game changer once you start using it correctly. So the very first thing is, remember, you should be parrying on red, not on white. The timing can actually be quite difficult sometimes, but the counter-attack is absolutely fantastic. It gives you damage, it staggers your enemies. Also, getting the skills amped and fired up also makes it much more powerful by increasing your focus as well by parrying, and focus is incredibly important within the game. Also remember though that range attacks can actually be parried, and if you are struggling with dodging and parrying, maybe it's just the speed of it's happening too fast, there are actually settings within the game that can actually increase dodge and parry. You can actually set it to the increased, and basically what that does is it gives you a larger window to actually perform the action. One of the other things, especially from a practice perspective, you can actually change the game speed down to like 50% or lower, and this really does help with the dodging, the parrying, but also practicing within the game too.
And that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.